Today, the Bogan will live again. So where we are currently is we've got the knuckles all bolted into the coilover, the hub's on there. We're going to change out the brakes because we're going to some Sumitomos, just the standard like front ones that we've painted. We've got some fresh rotors and we're pretty much just assembling everything in the front end, so then we can put fenders, bumpers and everything back on, and the car is on the ground ready for alignment and some testing. We're not going to run a front sway bar to start off with, and then I'll add like a high clearance, either like a D-Max or a GK Tech one, and see how it goes. I do probably want to go for the GK Tech high clearance one so that we have more room there for like more scrub radius and everything. We will run 17s in the front, kind of like that, you know, nice S chassis kind of feel, but we're already going to be feeling pretty snappy with our new location of where our coilover is, being that from there to there. I think it's going to feel amazing. We just got the standard Dixel ones, the like, you know, OEM replacement, cheap ones kind of thing. So no slots or anything like that. You don't need to go too crazy for a practice drift car. Although I'm not going to lie, it'd be really nice if we had some beautiful Neotech ones on here. Let's get this in. We've got some major progress on the Bogan 32, but we are working on cars after all. And yeah, well, for some reason, the oil feed line halfway between the hose burst and oil was dumping everywhere on the floor. So I took the opportunity to upgrade it to a very nice Teflon Dash 4 line. So we did that. That took a little bit of time digging through fittings and everything. But now it's all back together, we're doing an oil change and we should be good. What I'm gonna focus on with that is that it happened now on the lift when we could catch it, and not while we were out driving on the track, where one, we could drain the system and get rod knock, or two, where we dump it all over the track, because that's not fun for anyone. But I have been reading your comments, and trust me, when I edit the videos, the shaking of this camera is out of control. And I actually think the biggest issue is, well, first of all, Riley isn't great. He's not a cameraman. He hasn't gone and like, you know, studied or learned or like how to hold a camera. And I did catch him a few times doing the whole one hand kind of thing. So that's why the camera was moving a lot with some of the times where he was shooting. So I've given him some pointers on that. But even when I shoot with the camera, the shakiness has been an issue. And it's not me, because when I pick up a different camera, there's no problem. So I started like diving into whether or not something was wrong internally with this camera, and I think we figured it out. So give me a second and tell me if it gets better. Bam, we should be a lot more stable now. Also, we have this benefit, a little bit more of a wider lens. Now, what I think happened was a while ago, believe it or not, the crows in Japan are next level superhuman. It's not AI you need to worry about, it's the crows invading from Japan, because the crows here are like insanely smart. Regardless, a crow landed on the table where my camera was sitting when I was eating lunch at a Yashio Factory Drift event, and it literally tried to pick up my camera and take it for a ride, and it dropped it and the lens hit the ground. Now, it didn't necessarily like cause any crazy cosmetic damage, and at that time I didn't notice any damage. It seems like it broke the internal stabilization inside the lens, meaning that even though the camera was telling it to stabilize and do its thing, it wasn't doing it. But anyways, let me know what you think about this new lens. It's a little bit of a wider one, and we can also just go back to, you know, the normal one we were using before, but I prefer this, and I think it's gonna make things a lot easier as well. That aside, let's take a look at what's happening with the Bogan 32, because I think we're ready to put this thing on the ground for the first time, and then we can get this thing tested. And boy, am I excited. I cannot wait to just feel how this feels. And then being able to also change our caster, and we can see whether moving it forward or back is gonna make a difference with feel and stuff like that, and just like overall steering response. I want this thing to be snappy and quick. So I think we normally want it further back, but we'll play with it and see. But let's give this thing a quick fire up. Let's go. Look at all this angle, guys. What is going on? That is ridiculous. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. And these are the new knuckles that I've been telling you about that are just a proper cast OEM replacement knuckle with all the geometry fixes done. They're so good. Look at that. That's actually kind of insane. Anyways. Oh, she's a happy RB. This is the first iteration of the Bogan 32, and we've kind of just taken parts off things laying on the shelf and stuff like that. Like the coilovers that are in the front right now are what I was running at the start of this year in the front of my comp car, and we're gonna use that as like the base, and then we're gonna go talk to Neotech and build a custom coilover set just for that car, because we are using S chassis stuff in the front with Skyline stuff in the rear, and I definitely am gonna wanna dial in a very unique shock setup for this thing. I want this to pretty much be like a grassroots hero car, but also like a car that you can drive like a dick in, if that makes sense, because when you want it to, you just put your foot down on limiter and just smoke up everything. It's gonna be that kind of happy medium of just 450 horsepower that maybe can be turned up to 500, just that little extra if you want a bit more of a hit, but we can't also fit that much of a big tire in the rear being a 4-door 32 Skyline. So we're kind of limited there, that's our limiting factor, but if we can put a 265 under there, we're mint. I don't care if we gotta cut it in the end anyways and put some kind of over fender on. Regardless, I'm kind of liking this wider view. It's kind of nice.
A few moments later.
And just like that, we are now at Ebisu Circuit, and the Bogan 32 is behind me, getting a fresh tune from yours and truly, Tanaka-san. Really excited to try out the car with the new front end suspension. I really do think that this is gonna be the thing that this chassis needed, and I'm excited to see just how much of a change it's made. Tanaka-san's already got the cold start dialed in. Gosh, I love this thing. It sounds so good. It's gonna be a fun day. We're gonna be taking this down to Higashi, tuning it on the track. We're not gonna know the final power number. We know when we did take it to the dyno last, we made a really responsive 450, but we really wanna get the tune dialed in really nice. That way this thing can be a monster up here. This is just gonna live at Ebisu, and I'm gonna use it for all the grassroots comps that happen here, like G1 GP, as well as EDS. Tanaka-san's got the little rental helmet, getting the fueling all dialed in. I'm so excited to drive this thing. I know it's gonna be good. You can already tell. Still got a little bit of this to do and then we'll do that thing. For alignment specs, what we did was I kind of just spoke to Ueno-san and asked him what he would recommend, and then I just added a bit more caster to make the car a little more snappier, and then we adjusted the top of the coil over to be roughly where he recommended based off his knuckles. So I'm pretty excited. It's quite far forward, but I think it'll do well. Woke me up. Tanaka-san is finished with the tune. We're gonna go take this for a drive and see what the new S15 suspension feels like. I'm really excited to just drive this at North, try to throw it backwards, get an idea of where we're at. But I think from just driving it, doing the pulls that we did, I think it's pretty good. But let's see. I'm also very excited about his spicy limiter he put on this. Let's have some fun. This is so good! It's like I'm driving a longer S chassis now. I reckon I can throw this real hard. Let's try and do a backie. Okay, so we could probably put a bit more caster in it to make it more snappier, but it is good. Everyone who has an S chassis needs to get these knuckles, because if this is what it's going to do with like a basic setup with not that much caster, I can't imagine what the possibilities are like. This thing feels incredible, like seriously. This is such a good grassroots setup knuckle. I'm very excited about it. Man, this car's never driven this good before. It feels so nice behind other cars. It's fast, it's agile, it flicks like an S chassis, but it's long and boaty a little bit like a chaser. I love this. Man. Woo. I am beyond stoked on the 32. I hope it does it justice, just how rowdy this car is now. It's so loud. I'm sorry I'm yelling at you. But also, we just dropped our new Christmas sweaters. They're available now on Sammit.net. You should definitely go get them. I'm going to do some more laps in this. And I'm going to give the camera to Dom. Dom drove his V8 swap chaser here all the way from Korea to hand deliver me some new coils for the chaser. So I'll give the camera, I'm going to give it to him, and let's get some shots. I gotta say, very happy with the Bogan 32. The thing does cool stuff now. I can throw it, I can huck it. Next time I get some chance to wrench on it, I'm gonna give it probably a little bit more caster, so we'll wind the caster arms in a bit more and then just reset the toe. But I am so happy with how that car handles now, and it's so easy to control and drive. I can't wait to use that for just grassroots comps up here at FEC. Very happy with it. I hope I was able to convey to you just how much the car's changed and how much better the car steers now. We were never able to drive it like we did today with the previous R32 knuckle setup with cut and shut knuckles on it and whatnot. The geometry in the 32 is really kind of flawed, and they fixed a bunch of it in the 33 model Skyline and up, but the 32 has always had that kind of issue. Anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe, guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.